Now it's time for this week's Sponsor Spotlight.
All right, everyone, I am here with Greg Whiston from Seigfreid Bingham. Greg, how are you doing today?
Good, how are you?
Oh, I'm doing fantastic, and we got a lot to talk about, so let's just dive right into it. Can you talk about Seigfreid Bingham and their partnership with the MIAA?
Sure. So just by way of background for those who don't know, Seigfreid Bingham, we're a local law firm here in Kansas City, have about 50 attorneys. And we're a wide-ranging full-service law firm that does everything from litigation to estate planning to corporate work. So we've really worked with the MIAA for several years now, and our partnership I really kind of see as twofold. There's your traditional attorney-client kind of partnership, right, where over the years we've been tasked with doing a lot of legal work for the MIAA, from litigation support to, assistance with contracts and things like that. So there's that aspect of it. But I also have found that over the years that there's more than just a relational firm has sponsored the MIAA football and basketball media days for the last several years. We feel that's an important way to kind of give back to the MIAA and show our support. And then, even with our legal services, I see something like we're doing with the Empower You program, which we'll talk about here a little later, as more of a partnership than a traditional attorney doing work for a client. I mean, the goal in that program, in conjunction with the MIAA, was to really partner up and provide the best resources possible for the MIAA and its member institutions to help empower their student athletes, empower their institutions to, take full advantage of this new name, image, and likeness world that we're living in today.
Yeah. And so it sounds like you guys are doing a lot with the MIAA and just what Seigfreid Bingham is overall. So good stuff there. And what are some of the areas where Seigfreid Bingham can provide expertise in the college athletics realm?
Yeah. So, like I said, Seigfreid Bingham is a pretty full-service law firm. We do everything across the legal landscape, but specific to college athletics, I think our expertise lends itself to litigation, including injury litigation, liability issues. We have worked not only with the MIAA, but with several other Division II conferences in connection with the nationwide class action litigation that's been going on for several years relating to head trauma. So that's certainly an area, litigation work and is certainly an area of expertise in the college athletics realm. Beyond that, contracts, vendor contracts, event facility contracts. We've done a lot of those for a lot of different sports and entertainment clients. So certainly some expertise there. And then, name, image, and likeness is certainly becoming one of those expertise areas, and something that we've really tried to stay on top of over the last year, a little more as things have developed and, created our Empower You program, and are really trying to, offer our expertise in that area to not only the MIAA, but all of our clients.
And that's a good thing to do. You got a lot of these young athletes, and with the new, like you said, name, image, likeness. So it's good to see that. And I kind of want to talk more about that. I know you kind of just talked about it, but let's go maybe more in depth here. Like you said, you helped launch Empower You this year, with the focus being on that name, image, likeness. So what was your approach to this, and what type of results have you seen so far from it?
Yeah, so like I said, this is something that we've been tracking really for, over a year or so, as we saw this coming down the pike. I mean, I think everybody knew for a long time that, this name, image, and likeness was kind of the elephant in the room. Something was going to give, things were going to change, all signals were pointing that direction. And so me and my colleague Curry Sexton, who actually is a former Division I student athlete himself, played football at K-State, kind of recognized that. And as things developed, we were really studying the issues. We wrote several blog posts, articles, keeping up with all the developments. And as we were doing that, and frankly, amongst ourselves and in conversation with Commissioner Racy, we really identified that when this thing goes live, meaning when name, image, and likeness is allowed and that world exists, that there's going to be a lot of support needed, because this is something that is going to present a number of issues, both legal issues under state law, compliance issues with the NCAA, and then just general, things you may not think about that there might be legal ramifications for when a student athlete's basically running their own business that is their name, image, and likeness. And so we recognize that, and in talking to Mike, talking to some of the other conference commissioners that we work with, Curry and I really felt that we wanted to be on the forefront with a product or a service, a legal service that we could have out there right at the beginning to help our conference clients, member institutions navigate the challenges. And, we think that unlike other areas of maybe NCAA compliance, name, image, and likeness, we feel is important to have a legal voice or a law firm partner, because you are talking about laws, right? I mean, these are things where the NCAA has basically deferred to state law to govern name, image, and likeness. And so you're going to have different states. We already see it. We have within the MIAA footprint, we have some states who have passed laws, and those laws aren't the same. We have some states who haven't passed any laws whatsoever. So it's really wide open in the wild, wild west. And so understanding the laws, understanding, what they mean. And quite frankly, these laws are pretty, I'm not going to say poorly written. I'm not going to be too critical on our legislature, but they're basic and they're vague. And so there's not a lot of clarity in them. And so inevitably there are going to be things that come up where you're going to need some legal interpretation or an opinion as to what does this vague term mean? What can we do? What can't we do? And so I think we all recognize that this is an area where legal expertise is going to be critical. And so that was top of our mind, and why we launched Empower You to really get ahead of that.
And I was going to say, you mentioned that people have talked about this for a while now, and we kind of saw it, but now that it's here, it's up to, you're going to understand it way better than the kids, or maybe even some of the coaches, or even some of the institutions. So it's great that you guys are doing that and wanted to be one of the first ones to help these kids, because I think they deserve it, and I'm sure you guys do as well. And then I just
and that's I didn't mean to interrupt, but I was just going to add one more thing I was going to throw out there is there certainly is a legal kind of guidance piece of this where we want to provide guidance to conference institutions, regarding the laws, what they mean, compliance. But part of this too is, we call it Empower You for a reason, because we want to empower the student athlete and make sure that they're fully equipped with what they need. And so kind of a second pillar of this program is an educational component. And through our partnership with the MIAA throughout the year, we're going to be providing webinars for coaches that are kind of outlining some key legal issues and developments that are happening along the way. We're going to have a semester. Each semester, there's going to be a webinar available for all MIAA student athletes, where we're going to cover kind of the important issues of the day with name, image, and likeness, and just legal issues that should be on the athlete's mind. So that is a very important component of this program, is really helping the student athletes and the coaches and really everybody in the athletics department to understand it the best they can and to maximize the benefits for their players and their schools.
That's awesome. That is a great thing that you guys are doing. And the last question that I have for you, and you kind of already answered it right there, which is great. And it's, what other projects or initiatives are you guys doing in place with Seigfreid Bingham?
Yeah, so it's kind of an exciting time right now at Seigfreid Bingham. I mean, in my world, the Empower You program, the name, image, and likeness, that's keeping me pretty busy, because that's changing every single day, even by the hour. It seems like, there's news all over the place about it. But The legal world's pretty on fire right now. Like I said, we're a full service law firm, so we're in a lot of different industries. I think, we've got folks in our transactional side that are just extremely busy with mergers, acquisitions, because, there's some worry or concern about some tax implications that may come at the beginning of the next year. So there's a lot of rush to get that done at the end of this year. So that's kind of an exciting thing that's going on with our firm. We have the class action cases that we talked about with some of our conference clients. That's kind of starting to heat up, and there's becoming a little more action there. And then, the COVID-19 continues to be a hot topic issue in the legal world. We represent a lot of big employers, small employers, just employers across Kansas City, and navigating all the new requirements, whether it be vaccination requirements or new administrative orders. That's just a constantly evolving area that, at least, especially for our employment lawyers here, is I think continues to keep everybody busy. So no shortage of projects and work to do here, and I suppose that's a good thing.
I suppose it is. It keeps you out of trouble, right? But it sounds like you are keeping busy and doing great things. And like I said, just with the name, image, likeness, the stuff that you guys are doing for these athletes, coaches, is very great. And Greg, I really appreciate you taking the time to talk to me today and talk about Seigfreid Bingham and Empower You.
No problem. Thank you so much for having me.
Yep. Have a good one.